Hey guys, I don't know if you knew it or not, but we actually do sell t-shirts here for the YouTube channel. Now, I know you guys may like being nude, but here in the real world, we like wearing clothes. And what better way can you do that? By buying one of our t-shirts. So go to teespring.com and pick any of the shirts that you see us wear on the show, and you can be like us, not nude. Hi guys, welcome to the Rule of Two, where the Star Wars news saga continues. I'm Terrence.
I'm Art.
And we recently saw the episode 2 of season 2. That's right? That sounds about right.
It's 202.
It's 202. That sounds about right. So
I know there's like an actual one that they reference a number, but we're just gonna say 202.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. So since you weren't here for episode 1, we're not gonna reference episode 1. You missed your chance to talk about episode 1. But what were your thoughts on episode 2?
Episode 1 was amazing. Okay.
That's not what we're talking about.
So, and I have to reference episode 1 because it left everybody on a high note. Now, my question to you is, have you ever gone to a restaurant and you were like, this food is amazing, I can't wait to come back again?
Yeah.
And then you go to that restaurant
and
again.
I got food poisoning.
And you're like, this is like crap. Like, what happened? Yeah, that's how I felt.
You know, that's a good antidote for this.
That's how I felt. Episode 1 left everyone on such a high note, excitement, there's that buzz. Like, oh man, they started off strong. Episode 2, 202, is essentially a filler. That's all it was. It's like, check mark, we got an episode done this week.
You did. It kind of did feel like a filler, but I assume that what they're trying to do with this filler episode was set up something for the future going forward in the season.
Yeah.
Whether it's having to do with why hashtag Yodi was eating the eggs.
Child. It's the child or Baby Yoda.
It's hashtag Yodi.
There's nothing. There's no Facebook groups called Yodi. There's nothing. Yeah, Yodi was made by this guy, and then Manny, who doesn't know anything about Star Wars, is jumping in on board.
By the way, when it actually comes out to be Yodi or Gaddy or whatever the hell they call it, you're going to be like, oh my God, these guys called it. So that's why
until then, it's either the child or Baby Yoda.
All right, so when the child was eating the eggs, so it seems like there was a setup for that because he was swallowing them whole, and I see your hand, and we're not getting to you right now. So he was swallowing them whole.
I was like, my hand's not raised.
It seems like that he would maybe regurgitate them later, and that maybe it was a setup for something they may do later on in the season itself.
That would
because there was a big importance put on the fact of propagating this species later on, and that like she's trying to keep her species going. Do you think that maybe him eating the eggs was a way for him to kind of save these things?
Based off of season 1, I don't see that as being
because he was sipping tea and eating everything and eating frogs.
Yeah, he was eating frogs. He was eating drinking bone broth, eating frogs. Doing all that.
I mean, because that's one of the theories, and it kind of leads you to believe that they wouldn't make him that type of person, or at least that type of child. It could be because he's a child, but it didn't seem like that's what they were going to. It seemed like they were kind of setting up something else. But I get your point as far as episode 1 leading into episode 2, where it felt like they were going to go in a certain direction. And if you hadn't seen episode 1, the spoiler for episode 1 was that we got to see Temuera Morrison at the very end. We walked through the whole Cobb Van Zant thing in the armor and realizing that he wasn't Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But we got to see Temuera Morrison either playing Boba Fett in that little bit of a teaser. I mean, if he's on Tatooine, you had to be Boba Fett. Or it could be that he was playing Commander Rex.
So there's a lot of questions that came up because of that. I know y'all probably discussed that in episode 1.
We did.
But in Disney Plus, or now on Disney Plus, you can see Star Wars, Clone Wars, and Rebels and all that. And so the fact that all the Jedis had taken off their, or not Jedis, the Mandalorians had taken off their helmets.
Right, and like in the Rebels,
yeah.
So that talks about like different clans, and those clans didn't believe in the whole helmet thing.
So with the way episode 1, for me, actually, it helped kind of bring the story together. And this is why I was so disappointed in episode 2, was that there was no reference.
Because they went totally a different direction.
Nothing. They left with all the fans, all the hardcore fans. We were all like, we had all these things going on.
Yeah, all these all these different like theories about what we're gonna get, and they were like, hey, we're leaving Tatooine.
And that's it.
And that's it.
And then the whole episode really, from what I can tell right now, it doesn't carry an impact to what happens in the future for the next
for right now.
For right now, it could be. It could be.
They could be setting up some stuff because even the creatures that we get to see. Let's start with the episode from the very beginning. So he's still on Tatooine. He wants to go ahead and still find more Mandalorians. Yeah. The ones that the Cobb Vanzant wasn't a Mandalorian.
The cohorts.
Yeah. So he wants to still seek them out, and his journey leads him off of Tatooine to go and look, and he has to carry a passenger with him to, where were they headed to? I can't remember.
6 hours later.
They were going there. So that leads him off at Tatooine. So are you okay with the fact that this that we've left this planet and we're going to go seek out other planets, or did you want us to stay here? Even though we have the reference to Boba Fett, did you want to see more of the show take place on Tatooine, or you wanted to continue to kind of branch out the Star Wars universe?
I'm totally fine with them branching off. I think that's a good question. That's a valid question of where the fans, where we would all like to see the show have gone for 202. Expanding into the rest of the universe, perfectly fine with me, because all we see is him staring off, watching watching him leave, right?
Right.
So it's only like a couple of seconds long.
Right.
So there's no reason for him to even feel like he should stay back or anything.
I mean, because he doesn't know, right?
Yeah. So then there's also, we don't know if Boba Fett was an actual Mandalorian or he just had the Mandalorian armor.
I mean, because technically his dad was the Mandalorian and he was not a Mandalorian.
Yeah. Yeah,
because they don't, at the point where they're in the series, that you don't actually have to be by blood to actually just kind of like grow up in the religion, especially. Yes, we do know that. So
there's no reason.
We would assume that he was not truly Mandalorian because he didn't grow up in that lifestyle.
So there's no reason to feel like, he
wasn't about that life.
Yeah, he wasn't about that life. So there's no reason to keep him on the planet, right? They didn't put anything where we felt like, they left Tatooine for nothing.
Right. He got the armor.
Yeah,
and
he got the armor. Hey, I may know. My husband may know. My husband heard from the. From the other frogs,
that there might be another.
Word on the lily pad is that.
All right, so we're leaving the planet. He's kind of quest in this whole taxi service.
Yeah.
To deliver this frog person to the other planet, so that way they can continue to propagate their species. He has to travel at sublight speed, which would make him vulnerable to being like, not just attacked or caught.
Tracked, traced,
and traced. Because at the beginning of the season, we still find out that there's other bounty hunters still tracking him for the child.
Yes.
So that does pose a threat to him for him to travel so slowly. But as we get further into the episode, we realize he's wanted by the rebellion.
Yeah, he's wanted all over the place.
Yeah.
Which makes me question, how many Mandalorians are there? Because
it was like, not the blue helmet, not the green helmet, the silver one.
Silver one.
That guy right there.
That guy. It's like, if Mandalorians are so hard to come by.
Yeah, why was it so easy for them to figure out what it is?
Yeah.
I think it would, I believe it was the fact that they were tracking his ship.
Yeah. So, it's cool. I mean, I can see they're tying in season 1.
Right.
To season 2. They're bringing
up, because he's doing some kind of like out there stuff, so you would figure that he's broken some laws and stuff like that. So it is cool that like they give an explanation of why he needs to move quickly when he makes traveling. We already knew about the bounty hunters like after him for the child, but we also know that like the galaxy and its policing is still after him too. So that's cool. I would like to bring up the fact that like I was really into the fact that they brought X-Wings into this.
Oh, that was so cool.
And that was like, we got to see them again as far as like the Star Wars universe goes, because we've seen them in like the sequel trilogy and they've never made much of an impact. In this, we got to see them in a sense to where like they're policing the galaxy at this
Yeah,
point, right?
yeah.
These are the new marshals out here.
Exactly.
The
That's
fighters.
the same thing that I thought. Because all this is a spaghetti western, right? This is all based off of spaghetti western.
Right.
The feel to it. So having the 2 X-Wings show up is the same thing I thought. Okay, you have a bounty hunter who's going around. Who are these guys? These are the police force. This is the marshals, the rangers, the
Right.
whatever, however you want to say, the deputized, whatever, right? And so that's the feel I got when I saw it. That's the first thing I thought of. Like,
Yeah, they were like, we're trying to make sure you're not going out here saying Hail Hydra. So
yeah.
it's like there's some Imperial defectors that are still out there
Yeah.
that kind of still was like, we want to make sure that you're not part of it.
Which makes me think like, oh, so anybody can have Mandalorian armor, so we just want to make sure.
It's like, are you with the rebellion and you're wearing Mandalorian armor, or are you like with the the Imperial and still like wearing your Mandalorian? So it was really cool for them to kind of delve into like how they're still policing the galaxy after the rebellion. It did kind of make them seem like jerks for a little bit. We're like,
What?
yeah, that's cool, but send us that code.
Yeah, I'm still gonna need to see that ping.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, these guys are
No,
jerks.
that you know what that felt like? That felt like how we sometimes feel with police officers, right? It's like,
And it's like I'm still gonna
I'm
see
so-
your ID and your registration.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I understand why you had to speed. I get it. License, registration, please.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So-
And let me walk back to my car.
Let me walk back to my
And
car.
while you're there,
Let me have you
patiently
sitting there.
yeah, while you're there with your white knuckled on the steering wheel. That's the whole feel I got from that.
Yeah, that's definitely so. So he's definitely that guy where like where the police officer goes and gets in the car, and then like as he's getting in the car, the dude like hits the gas and takes off.
Takes off.
It was cool. I'm surprised that they didn't get into more of a firefight where like I thought they may have shot him down, but for him to escape to this planet, it only added more problems for him on the planet.
Yeah.
When we get to the planet, because this is a great place for us to get into it, we get to find out that there's another creature on here, almost like alien-esque creature.
So here's where the wheels came off for me.
Okay.
Okay. His ship is damaged.
Mm-hmm.
If all he had to do, if the ship could fly and leave,
He could just got right in the ship and just took off.
yeah, or at least gone to somewhere where they can work on the ship.
Right. Why did he stay in the caverns and kind of like explore?
Yeah.
Well, because the frog lady left,
but
right?
yeah, but my point was like, okay, I'm just gonna hunker down and go to sleep for a little bit.
Well, because the X-wings were still patrolling. He chased him there.
Well,
Sorry, sir. I don't know if you ran from the cops before. So
I'm like,
you have to lay low for a little bit.
do
You can't just go
Do
back out
This
there. You
is-
can't just go back out
Is this
there.
like Grand Theft Auto where you have to find
You
like
have to lay
park
low
the
for a
car?
little bit. You gotta wait for the stars to drop down.
And it's like, okay, it's a strange planet. Yet people just be like, okay, I'm just gonna go, like,
It's Star Wars, sir.
I'm gonna wander around.
It's Star Wars, sir.
I'm gonna wander around. Oh, there's this comfortable water that I can just soak in because it's warm.
Dude, it's Star Wars. Look, Han Solo sat inside the mouth of a thing in an asteroid field. So, it's Star Wars.
It's Star Wars. It's Star Wars.
Well, one of the great things about that, one, it upped the horror element to the show. It made a viable threat. Even out it.
I don't think they conveyed that at all.
Really? The fact that they were like totally like tearing apart the ship and he had no answer for that.
I understand what you're saying. I'm
Right.
just saying it didn't convey.
Because
they didn't
when
capture.
when you see the Mandalorian in every other episode, he's always the better gunman.
Oh,
he can always figure out his way out of a situation.
Yeah.
This one, he seemed pretty stuck.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Okay.
I understand that's the whole way it was written. What I'm saying is the way it was shot, everything. I don't think, for me, that's where the wheels came off.
You didn't feel like it was okay.
No.
You felt like you knew he was gonna get out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was an act of desperation, nothing. Right? I understand what they were trying to do. I understand the way it was shot. It just didn't work. The way it was done, it just didn't work.
My problem with that scene was when they actually brought the X-Wing fighters in to save the day. It was kind of like your Deus Ex Machina, the hand of God, right? Where like there's a solution out of nowhere, where like they chased him there, they left him there, then all of a sudden they're the ones that come to save his life.
You know what would have worked for me, and I know this is gonna sound, but if the child's already eating some of the eggs, if they would have lost some of the eggs, where there was a loss where they would have been like, dang, now we are in a dire situation
because
we've lost so.
Their dire situation was the aliens attacking the ship.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is the message would have been shot. It's like you can actually see if.
I'm sure they're gonna get back to that, and that's why I think that there was more that's meant to the swallowing of the eggs and not actually like.
Well,
ingesting and digesting the eggs.
What I'm saying is for them to capture that dire moment.
Okay.
If there was no actual loss, right? Everybody's
because
safe.
It was like, oh, I had like 50 eggs here, now I got 47.
Yeah.
Right.
If she would have been like, I lost half my eggs.
Right. And that made a difference in the species itself.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that.
That for me, that would have been, then I can see. It just didn't feel like, I understand everything they were trying to capture, but there was no, I mean, you knew the child's not going to be harmed, right? Okay. You know Boba Fett, and you.
I actually thought that character was going to die. The little frog character. I thought the frog character was going to die.
I didn't feel that at all.
I thought the frog character was going to die, and he was going to have to continue that mission to deliver these eggs over to that planet by himself.
That would have been cool too.
The fact that
would be an awesome twist.
I would have felt that was coming. I would have been like, I predict that.
So that's what I'm saying. This is where the wheels fell off.
Okay.
I understand everything that they were trying to convey. It just didn't, the way it was shot, the way it was directed, the way it was written, it just didn't carry, for me, the impact where I'm like, oh, dang, they are stuck, right?
Right.
So many
when he dropped down on the ship, that didn't make you feel like they were stuck? When he tried to lift off?
No,
and then
because for me, it just didn't.
It was literally Aliens, where the queen's hanging on to the ship as it's trying to take off.
So you know what? You know why it worked in Aliens? Because they lost people that.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. There was characters that you didn't know were gonna make it. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
There was no characters lost. No eggs were lost. Only eaten.
They had 3 characters.
They had like 22 if you count the eggs or something.
Oh, if you count the eggs. All right. So how did you feel about the Dave Filoni cameo in it? Because he played one of the X-Men fighters. Yeah.
I'm like, it's cool that they're bringing in nostalgic characters.
Or that the guy who's basically keeping the Star Wars universe alive right now.
It's cool, but most people wouldn't know.
No, most people wouldn't have known.
No.
And in my first viewing, I didn't realize it was Dave Filoni.
Yeah. It's cool, but I'm like, it's like if they would have done something to reference that when they were fighting. Hey, like
I felt
like casual conversation, like, man.
Hey, do you know I'm running the whole Star Wars universe right now, right?
Something where they can, even the casual fans can maybe go back and be like.
I looked at it like
it just didn't have that.
Quentin Tarantino appearing in his own films.
Yeah. But most people know who Quentin Tarantino is.
Damn, Dave Filoni.
It's the truth. I mean,
step up, Dave Filoni.
Step up. Have more active roles.
All right. So the X-Wing fighters end up saving the day and helping them through the situation.
Yeah, and then they just take off. They're like, deuces.
Deuces. It's like, hey, you did some good stuff. That after we checked your stuff, we found out you did some good stuff, so we're gonna let you go. Don't cross paths with us again, or we're gonna shoot you down, type deal. So I don't know if that was really kind of like a let go, just like, hey, don't let me see you again, or that's your ass.
That's why I said for me, this episode it didn't.
It did seem like a filler because where it ended, it doesn't give you a clear path of where they're gonna go.
Yeah.
At least with the first episode, you thought you knew where they were gonna go, and then they gave you this episode to where you're like, oh, that's not where I thought they were gonna go. So we obviously know he has to deliver these eggs.
Yeah.
And it's probably gonna be because the frog woman that was in it was in a hot spring. So we're not gonna be another ice planet. We're gonna go to a warmer planet, a warmer climate planet. I was gonna say, like, what if she ends up going to like Endor or something like that? We don't know.
That would be so cool. That would be.
And they bring back in like the Ewoks and stuff like that because one of the great things about the show is that it likes to tie in like older mythology and things that we're familiar with. Where it brought back the Jawas.
It's like, where are we going? We're going to Endor.
The Tusken Raiders.
And if you said like Endor, there's nothing there except like.
Ewoks.
or like
Trees and Ewoks.
there's nothing there but these little furry creatures. Like that's why it's safe. Something.
It's safe, right?
It's safe, right? It just ties it in for me. It's
Okay.
like that would be sweet. That would be the other one. I was thinking if they were to meet some Gungans.
Really?
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Yeah, that would be so awesome.
Misa said, no, we don't want that. We don't want that at all. We don't want that at all.
Misa don't want that to happen.
Look, I would like them to continue to tie like some of the lore of the characters that not the Gungans, some of the lore that we have known and grown up through all the other previous.
Yeah.
I'm good with that because I like how they do that. Like I said, the Tusken Raiders, the Jawas. Hell, they even brought back R5 in the first episode.
Yeah.
And it was like, and it showed like the burn mark from where his motivator blew out, right? It was like, and the Great Dragon. It's like, I love the fact that they tie all our previous thoughts of Star Wars back into this show, but we don't need the Gungans.
I'm just saying, right?
But you know what? I would not be surprised if they did.
They're close to the same habitat. Close to the same habitat.
They live underwater too,
Yeah.
right? Oh my God, they're bringing back the Gungans. They're bringing back the Gungans.
I'm just saying, you can see how it's like amphibious creatures.
Right.
Okay.
So that's all I really had as far as Rule of Two for today. We really wanted to break down episode 2 of season 2. Hopefully, going forward, we will be breaking down every one of the episodes for the rest of the season. So I hope you guys haven't gotten tired of us in regards to that. But any other Star Wars news that actually does happen to come up, we'll definitely touch on it itself each week. So, Art, take us home.
Hey guys, tell us. Maybe there's something that we didn't know. Hey, maybe there's something that Lucas didn't tell us, but you were privy to.
Hey, you were part of that $4 billion meeting?
Yeah. They were so hey, we don't know. Maybe you were out there cleaning the floors.
Maybe. You were just over here.
Okay. Let's see what's going on. Let me put this on 4chan.
4chan.
So, hey guys, tell us what you think. There's a lot of cool ideas. Maybe there's something that we missed, something that I misinterpreted, let's say on either episode 202 or on any of these topics that we just discussed.
Right.
Okay, don't forget to follow us, like us, do all that good stuff to us.
All right. So for Manny and Carla sitting over here on the side, talking through the video.
Talking.
So much talking.
On our video too.
We're not talking about that. I'm Terrence.
I'm Art.
And may the force be with you.
And also with you. Hey, did you...
Wait, guys, are you still here? I'm glad you're still here. All right, so if you look down, I mean, it's somewhere over here. Look down. We actually have a Patreon. So if you guys watch the show and you really like what we want to do and you want to help support the show and you want to help me get an editor so I can get to sleep at night because I'm really tired and you guys see all my mistakes in the episodes. So please go to patreon.com/thegoods. Give us a penny, give us a nickel, give us $1.
Just don't give us the finger.
Don't do that. But make sure you do donate something because we do have some giveaways. There's posters, there's t-shirts. There's,
I'll sign something for you.
Exactly. So take a look, guys, and help us out.